An important part of shot production in badminton is the way the lower arm works. A lower arm rotation is used to get power into the shot through speed in the racket head movement. The basic hitting technique follows through into all the shots in the game. In order to get the maximum power into a hit, we must optimize the racket head speed. To do this, it is important to start with an angle between the racket shaft and the lower arm. We can see here an example where the player has the angle between the racket and lower arm. In this slow motion sequence, notice how the player's lower arm rotates so that at the end of the shot, the racket face is pointing away to the right. This movement of the arm is called pronation. The power transferred into the shuttle is the result of this lower arm rotation. We can see the same thing on the backhand. Exactly the same as the forehand, except the rotation is in the opposite direction. We call this movement supination of the lower arm. It's important to see the angle between the lower arm and racket, and notice the circle or loop drawn by the player's racket in the air before impact with the shuttle. In this demonstration by Jens Olsson of Sweden, power through racket head speed is brought about by the rotation of the lower arm both on the forehand and the backhand, and not by the wrist. In order to understand the way we hold the racket, the grip, in different parts of the court, we shall see this grip from 6 different points on the court. 3 on the forehand and 3 on the backhand. A good starting point for correct shot technique is to have the correct grip. See how the racket head is more or less square to the net from all positions on the court. When I strike the shuttle, the racket head is square to the net to impart maximum power into the shot. Notice the small grip change here at the net. On the backhand, it's the same. Square to the net in the rear court. A thumb and finger grip in the mid-court. And at the net, we can clearly see the thumb supporting behind the back of the racket. In singles, the long high serve is very important. I try to place the shuttle as far back in the court as possible and near to the centre line to cut down the angles for the reply. I vary my serve by not only serving high, but also a low short serve in singles, especially if my opponent is far back in the court, maybe as a surprise tactic. I use a full body rotation on all forehand strokes when I have time. This body rotation involves a turn of about 180 degrees around the body's own vertical axis. This rotation helps in at least two ways. As well as getting more power into the shot, I can return to my central base position much more quickly. I twist my body backwards as I move backwards in the court, and then forwards as I strike the shuttle and return to the centre. The forehand clear is a stroke which I use in the rear court on both sides. The power in the shot comes principally from the lower arm rotation and partly from the body rotation. It is important that I optimize the racket head speed to hit the shuttle all the way to the back. I must try to get behind the shuttle to get body weight power into the shot as I move to the point of impact. Timing is important here. The smash is a variation that I use when playing from the rear court. The basic technique is exactly the same as for the clear. I try to strike the shuttle out in front of the body to hit it down on the floor as fast as possible. By making the technique exactly the same for the smash and the clear, I can make the shot deceptive, so my opponent cannot tell which shot is coming next. It is important to get behind the shuttle and move into the shot while reaching up high to maximize power and steepness. Power, steepness and accuracy are key factors in executing this shot well. The drop shot is my third variation of the shots I play from the rear court on the forehand. Instead of putting all my power into the shot, I slow down the racket head speed just before the point of impact with the shuttle. To get a deceptive drop, I must make sure that my preparation technique is exactly the same for the drop as for the clear and smash. I go up and prepare for the drop just as I do for the clear and smash, and then reduce the racket head speed before impact, brushing the shuttle to land just over the net. Notice how the player prepares with a big body rotation and then slows exactly as she hits the shuttle. The drop shot can also be sliced from the forehand rear court, so that the shuttle flies cross court. The idea is to create deception. The opponent must believe that you're playing a straight clear or smash, but the racket head angle is changed at the last minute, so the shuttle is sliced and not hit flat. This cutting action sends the shuttle across the court to the opponent's forehand net corner. It is important that I prepare exactly as if I were playing a straight clear or smash. Big body rotation giving the opponent false information. The cutting action reduces the power on impact. I can play the opposite slice too, the reverse slice drop shot. Here I build up as though playing a cross-court shot and then brush across the shuttle from right to left, sending the shuttle into a straight drop. Let's have a look now in a game. This deception comes from showing the opponent the preparation for one shot and then making another. This same deception, which we see in the rear forehand corner, can be used from the round the head position. Katrin Bengtsson of Sweden shows us the reverse slice cross court. See how she's brushing from right to left across the front of the shuttle. This really does look like a straight drop she's playing. Here's the normal slice drop shot. Katrin demonstrates again. See how the racket head slices from left to right across the shuttle now. Watch these drop shots played in a game situation. Although we normally want to play round the head in our rear backhand corner, when under pressure we may have to take the shuttle on the backhand, perhaps with a backhand clear. To hit a good backhand is technically quite easy. When the player prepares to make the shot, he starts with his elbow down and the racket head up. As the player goes into the shot, you see the racket head make a loop or circle in the air and then go up to strike the shuttle. It is important to reach up and take the shuttle as high as possible while reaching out to the side of the body. The player steps down with his foot exactly at the same time as he hits the shuttle. There. On the backhand we also have some variations. For example, the backhand drop shot. Preparation is exactly the same as for the backhand clear, but before the moment of impact, the racket head speed is slowed, hitting the shuttle so it just drops over the net. Body movement and lower arm rotation are exactly the same as for the backhand clear, but the power is reduced at the moment of impact. A net shot is played in the front of the court as tightly over the net as possible. It's important to hit the shuttle as early as possible, taking it high up at the top of the net. I play the shuttle so it goes as low over the net as possible and lands as close to the net as possible on the other side. Short swing, the racket and arm stretched out in front together with the lunge. A variation of this shot is the cross-court net shot, using an underarm rotation to strike the shuttle along the net. Notice how the racket looks for the shuttle and not the other way round. It is also important to use a short swing for all net play to give as little information to your opponent as possible about which shot you are playing. Another variation is the lift to the back of the court from the net. The swing must be short here to stress deception, so the preparation for this shot looks exactly the same as for the net shot. The idea is to hold the net shot as long as possible and then rotate the lower arm to lift the shuttle over the opponent's head to the back. As a defensive shot, however, when under pressure, I can lift the shuttle high and long to gain time. A slightly longer swing may be used here to gain power. Here Gubao uses a short swing. The net shot on the backhand side uses the same technique as for the forehand. You must take the shuttle as high as possible and play it as tight as possible to drop down low so that the opponent is forced to play the shuttle late. Watch for a short action, a lunge, and good touch. The variation is the cross-court net shot, using that forearm rotation again and a short swing. To make these variations possible, the shuttle must be taken early. The lift variation is especially used when the opponent is close in towards the net and then, at the last moment, lifting it over his or her head. A short swing in a forearm rotation lifts the shuttle. Under pressure at the net, we may lift the shuttle high and long to gain time to recover back to the centre. Here, the shuttle will often be taken later due to pressure from the opponent's good play. But look at these aggressive lifts. A forehand block to the net is used when defending against a smash. The idea is to use the power already in the smash and block the shuttle just over the net. The important thing is to contain and control the speed of the smash, blocking the smash, so it just dies on the other side of the net. A variation is to lift or drive the shuttle back to the opponent's rear court with the forearm rotation. It is especially important if you see your opponent rushing forward to the net anticipating the block. Look at these blocks from Gubao. On the backhand side, when we face a smash, we use a left or right foot lunge and repeat the racket technique from the forehand, absorbing the power in the smash. The shuttle should be returned tightly over the net, putting the opponent in turn under pressure. The variation on the backhand is again to lift the shuttle back to the rear court using the lower arm rotation. Here are some more blocks. Look at these fantastic blocks in the game. Let's look at these exercises to practice technique. First of all, the trainer simply throws shuttles over to the player's forehand net shot. The idea is that the player increases the quality all the time. Here the trainer feeds to two stations at the front of the court. First the forehand, then the backhand. Player practicing combining the two techniques. In this third example, the trainer is using a standard multi-shuttle feed, hitting shuttles up to the back of the court so that the player can practice clears, drops, smashes. The next example involves combining two possible stations, the rear forehand court and the net shot in the forecourt. Now a more game-like situation. The trainer feeds a continuous rally from the backhand net station to 2 points in the player's court, the rear forehand and the net. Pressure increases here as the player faces a random multi-shuttle feed from the trainer. The trainer can feed from a central position to all corners of the court. It's important that the quality is kept high so the trainer does not feed too hard. Give the player time in all of these early exercises to develop the necessary high-quality technique. Here the trainer moves to a back corner and again can feed to all points of the court. The player practices clears and lifts from the net. When all of these techniques are combined in a game, together with good footwork, then finally we have the complete player. Good footwork and good racket technique make for a winning combination.